All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. We are coming back with Puma, and we're gonna be doing her second litter, which is inaccurate. You guys met the sub goal the last time. We now have a new sub goal for Puma's third litter, and if we meet that one, then our third one will be inaccurate as well, so we will have to see. But welcome y'all. I hope we already got the prediction for the outro. I see we've already got the prediction running, but welcome. I see folks are hopping in. Thank you for joining us, and we'll go ahead and get started. So I will turn off the stream screen and we'll jump in. So we're back at the start of Silent Creek, and of course, a wolf's life is about one thing: passing on its genes to the next generation. All else, from hunting elk to defending a territory, drives towards this single goal. You and your mate survive the hazards of the wilderness long enough to meet each other, form a bond, and survive the winter. Now you can try to realize this goal. With pups of your own, you and your mate will become the breeding pair, sometimes called alphas of your pack. Their survival and the survival of your genetic code will be your responsibility. Even with all the dangers you face to reach this point, your real struggle has only just begun. So we'll go ahead and jump in. And I do have to remember we're playing on accurate, so I can't just autopilot brain this. I have to actually focus when we're hunting and things, because, oh boy, the last time I've done the autopilot, that's not been great. Oops, I turned off names again. I wanted to look at the map. Because, as always, we want to set up our poll first thing. So when it comes to determining where we're going to go, we have northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest, and then kind of the area in the middle that you can't see too well because none of it is claimed yet is center. So I'll go ahead and put up a poll for that, and we can go ahead and get started. Let me just set that up really quickly. And then I will keep talking when we have the poll. We got some things to cover today. So let's see. Ooh. What you doing, Twitch? What you doing? It's doing things on the interface. Alright. And I think let's go ahead and start this up. So while that poll is running, I also want to say for the, I think the first time ever for the Twitch streams, not for the YouTube videos, but Evie is actually here. She's sleeping on my bed, so you might hear her. She's snoozing at the moment, so you may not. But I also might have to get up if she decides she wants out, because she makes her decision very quickly, and if I don't get to the door fast enough, she will yell. So if I have to scoot really fast, I'm just gotta let the cat out of my room because I keep my door closed when I'm streaming. So she do be snoozing right now though, so she's chilling. Yeah, that's how the outro is going to get interrupted. I was going to say we got the prediction going already, but we don't have pups yet, so it's less likely, but that's what's going to happen is I think at 8 at 8 everything's happened. So she knows this. She knows her schedule very, very well, and she may well decide that it's time to remind me of what's meant to be happening. All right, it looks like you guys have decided on going northeast as well. So that'll take us to this area of the map over by Elk Tongue Overlook and the terraces and the Prospect Peak Pack. So let's go ahead and we'll start running over there. Start off by jumping off a rock, I guess. Yep. It do be time for a wager. We shall see. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm sure it'll pop up in a little bit. And thank you for contributing channel points to the poll as well. Yeah, Evie knows exactly what she wants. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. I've talked about this on my Twitter, so if you follow me there, you might have seen me talking about this. But so one of the things that I've been working with Evie is carrier training her, because this poor cat, she does not like the car. And in fairness, none of my cats ever have. Every car trip that I've had to make with a cat has been misery from what I remember. The only cat that we've had that's ever liked the car was my mom's kitty from when I was really, really little, and he used to road trip with her, apparently. But he was a very chill cat, and unfortunately, Evie does not like the car. She's not liking with that, so because there's a high likelihood, in fact, a certainty, because vet trips are a thing, that Evie's gonna have to ride in the car again. I've been trying to train her that her carrier is not all that scary, and that'll slowly progress into actually taking short car trips with her, but it's kind of backfired a little bit. Yeah, if Evie interrupts the outro, that will count, indeed. Oh no. hopefully your internet fixes itself. Sometimes it do be a little bit hecky. But yeah, so that training has kind of backfired a little bit, because basically what I've been doing is I've been telling her to go in her carrier, and then I close the door and I give her treats so that she associates the carrier with good things and not being terrified. And this has backfired significantly, because she definitely associates the carrier with treats now, and now she will come upstairs and get me, like, maybe 5 times a day, honestly. and yell at me until I follow her. And she'll lead me down to the carrier because she wants to sit and get fed treats, which is a problem because she's not supposed to have more than 2 servings of these treats a day. So it's working. It is working, but it's working a little bit better than it probably should be. So the things you don't think about when you're dealing with cats is she's definitely a very smart cat. I wasn't sure where on the scale of very intelligent to very head empty she was going to end up being. She's very smart. She's a very smart cat, and she has learned her schedule, and she does know that it's 8 is around the time when I do one of her sessions, so that there's definitely a chance that she will yell at me at the end of the stream because she wants me to go do her training. Oh no, homework can be a pain, yeah. I'm glad I'm not in school anymore occasionally. Like, I know folks who still are, and like, everybody sends me different assignments and stuff, and is like, look at this math that I'm doing now, and I'm like, this is college level math. I'm glad I don't have to deal with this. My brain is breaking. So good luck to all y'all who are still in school. Eventually school does end, and it does get a lot nicer. Oh yeah, mobile Twitch could be hecking around, yeah. I don't know too much about mobile Twitch because I don't use it. I'm not a very big mobile person, hilariously. I'm very much a stickler for computers. I don't know. My computers are so much beefier than my phone. The phone is nice if I'm out and about and I have to be doing things, but you're typing on a tiny, and like, I have a big phone. I got a big phone because I wanted a big phone because I have like, I'm a butterfingers. I'm all thumbs. I can't type on those tiny little keyboards, and I can't even imagine trying to do it on a smaller screen. I got a big phone on purpose, but I'm so used to computers, and I'll probably die on this hill because I just can't get used to phones. Like, I've gotten a little bit better. I can text and write on my phone more reliably now, but my gosh, like, I was late to get a smartphone, and I just am never going to be used to it. I finally understand how my parents' generation feels about, like, the higher technology stuff. Like, this is, oh, Koji cut a hair. That's why we claim this. Okay, well, I guess Koji says he wants to start making the territory here, which works. This is probably a pretty good place to start it. So we'll go ahead and we'll put a scent post right by this tree. Koji's decided that this is a good spot. I guess, oops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, like, this will be a good area for it. We'll go a little bit northeast, and because we don't want to be too close to the home hex there. Yeah, no offense to anyone who likes using mobile. I'm never gonna be as used to it as I am computer. I just never am. It's not gonna happen. But yeah, mobile stuff seems like it could be heckier to me as well. Oh, yo! Oh my goodness, there's more people predicting not. We'll see. You guys are at the mercy of Evelyn now. We'll see what she decides to do. Either that or she gets mad at me being loud during streams. I don't know how she feels about that. So far, you'll hear her in one of the upcoming episodes on YouTube. I did edit some of the ones that she's in, so you have that to look forward to. But so far, she's not hung out through most of an entire recording session or streaming session. She will just pop in and out. So we'll see. We'll see if she gets fed up with me being noisy and leaves. Yeah, that's valid. That's valid. And some people are very well adapted to phone keyboards, and like, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, how do you do it? I don't understand. I just have big thumbs that are always in the way. I don't even think my hands are that big. They just feel it when I'm trying to figure out how to use a phone. Oh, congrats on getting a computer soon. For playing it on high settings, there's not like one good for playing WolfQuest on high settings. There's not like one thing that there's not like one perfect option. It's just generally like you want to look into the graphics and what they're capable of. WolfQuest did put out a video a while ago, but some of that hardware is more outdated now because this was around the time when the game first came out, which was a few years back. But they did put out a video on specs and stuff, so you could look at that as well. Unfortunately, graphics card market has not been ideal lately. There's a lot going on in the world that impacts it. It makes me very sad because I like having access to my hardware. But yeah, so you could look at that as well. Let's see. Looks like we got a break to the tie. Yeah, I don't actually know what the prediction is at currently. It disappeared for me, but good luck to all y'all involved. Some of you guys might win it big. Yeah, gaming is definitely easier on a computer. I can do like I can't do those open world joystick games, and I've tried playing those on an emulator on the computer, but I had to like bind the joystick to my keyboard. And I don't play a lot of emulator games anymore. I had issues with, you know, if computer crashes and things happen because I've had my share of tech difficulties through the years. I don't really do emulator games anymore because of that, but like I can't do those real-time running around games on an actual phone. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work for me. I can't do it. Maybe that's another thing that's easier if you're used to controller. I think I've talked about that before. And it's definitely been interesting to hear from folks who prefer controllers over keyboard, because it really does seem like a lot of it can be, oh, we got our first den in this area. Seems like a lot of it can be, is it over this way? Ooh, what smells? Frisbee, that's new. Let's go check that out. I think that would sidetrack Puma immediately. But it seems like a lot of it can be what you grew up with too, because a lot of the folks who are more used to controller grew up on more controller-based stuff and maybe more console or use controllers for games from an early age, whereas I didn't. I grew up on PC gaming, playing the original WolfQuest with, is this a den? No, this is just a rock that has a frisbee on it. Yoink! Grab the frisbee. Chewable but otherwise pointless. Oh my goodness. No, that's not good lighting. That's so funny. I know some dogs will go wild over frisbee. Sierra never did. She liked balls. She was just absolute, like, she was always dropping, she had like a number of different dog balls that she'd run around with, and she was always like dropping one of them somewhere. Like if you sat down on the couch, she would drop her ball right next to you and then sit there, and if you didn't throw it right away, she'd assume you didn't notice, and then she'd start going oof, oof, and then it would escalate. Let's leave this here, I guess, for now, because we don't really have everything, or like we don't have a place to bring it to yet. There's no major landmark here. We can mark it on the map though, I guess. Remember where we put the frisbee. But yeah, some dogs really like frisbees. I imagine wolves might have fun with them too, but Sierra never did. Oh, 14 to 86. Holy smokes. Okay, so we got a pretty big ratio of channel points going on. Is this a different thing? Teddy bear! Oh, we found another teddy bear! Alright, I guess we're gonna make an item cache, because Puma's definitely gonna go collect that too. Are we getting territory marking done? No, we're not, but it's fine, it's fine. 5 to 6 saying that there will versus won't be. Makes sense, makes sense. Well, some of y'all could win it big if there is an interruption. We will see. As I think most people have thought that there's not going to be, because we're not. Oh, there's the teddy bear! There's the teddy bear, let's grab it. Hey, we got it. All right, let's bring that back down, and we'll just change this to items instead of frisbee. Makes sense. Oh, I'm glad you got the math problem. Yeah, math is hard. Math is hard, and like the hard thing about math too. Like, okay, I'm gonna complain about school a little bit, because I don't really like. It's very hard to have a standardized school system because I've come to realize that people learn things very differently, and I've learned that by experience, by being the person who learns things very differently. I remember, so I was homeschooled, but even with that, let me mark this as items. All right, there we go. But yeah, I was homeschooled, but even with that, you know, like sometimes you use programs and stuff, and I had a hard time with certain math concepts, and like I generally, generally, and I don't, oh, this is gonna sound bad. Generally, I'm pretty smart about things. I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I mean, I've generally done well in school. But, like, even then, certain things are really hard for me, and it turned out, like, one of the things that I found out with that was, oh, there's the sense. One of the things I found out with that is, a lot of the time, I just do things differently. My brain works differently. When I did do some outside classes, I remember being asked to do work on the board, and the teacher just kind of, like, looked at me with a little bit of confusion, and then looked at my work, looked at me, and was like, so I don't know how you did that, but yes, that's right. And, like, I was, in that moment that I realized that, you know, there's different ways of doing math, and some of them make better sense to other people, like to different people. And that's one of the things that's so hard about having a standardized curriculum in schools, is that there's a generally accepted way to do it that doesn't work for everyone. And that's, I think, why certain people like me ended up hating math, is because, like, it was unreasonably hard for me because the system that I was trying to learn didn't work on my brain. And I learned later in that class, I learned other methods that made a lot of sense, and suddenly the type of problem that I've been struggling so much to solve got a whole lot easier using this other method, which was really funny because I was told that this particular method was one that most people find really difficult, but I found the method that most people prefer using to be really difficult. So that's my little rant about the school system, and I think that applies to a lot of things. And I feel like that's difficult. Alright, but let me see, let me catch up on chat. Your dog only likes the orange Chuck-It balls. Yeah, that's the exact kind that Sierra liked. She had probably at least 4 of those at any given time, because she would occasionally lose one, and so then what would happen was, we would think she lost it. She knew exactly where it was, and, oh, there's a den somewhere around here, too. No, Koji, we're not hunting right now. I think probably over here. Oh, probably up in these rocks here. But she would put ones where we didn't know where they were. And so if we were trying to get her to not be bothering us with it and to settle down, like we were going to watch a movie or something, because she'd start barking if we didn't throw it for her, so then it was kind of hard to watch movies. She would inevitably find one that we hadn't even known where it was, pull it out, and materialize with that one. So she was a very smart dog. Sometimes a little bit to our inconvenience. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. That's a hilarious story. That's a hilarious story, Rain. Oh my goodness. Oh. We're chasing a fox now. There's a dispersal wolf here. Friendly 36M. Okay, we don't need to worry too much about that. We still have permadeath off because Mr. Koji here fights bears. And we generally don't play with permadeath. Like, so we had in previous episodes, if you've seen, after we hit the goal of putting this litter to accurate, we had a side challenge thing. That's probably one of the things that we could have as a side challenge. Now, we didn't meet that goal this time, but if that happens in the future, that's something that we could definitely consider. But we don't have it on for most of these playthroughs here on Twitch. Yeah, school can definitely be difficult. And, like, you know, another thing is, not everybody's gonna be good at everything. Not everybody's gonna like everything. That's totally fine. That's part of being human. That's another thing that's frustrating about school, is because you may not necessarily need all of those skills, but everybody kind of gets pushed into doing them, and it's not always necessary. Like, some things I feel like are very important to have all around the board. And a basic knowledge of most things is important to have, I think, but probably not everybody. Like, honestly, I don't regularly use high school level math. It's just not something that I've had to do, and there's, I think, a lot of jobs where you can get away with not needing that. Something like history is probably really important to know, because it's very, very important to be aware of what has happened in the world. One of my favorite sayings is, those who forget history are doomed to repeat it. So that one, I think, is something that's really important to teach globally, but, like, not everybody's gonna need a higher end knowledge of math or a higher end knowledge of writing. Depending on what you do, you're gonna need different skills, and I feel like we'd be better off if we kind of tailored those skills, because I feel like everybody kind of gets pushed into learning things that may not even be interesting, or something that they may not feel very good at, that they might not end up using later in life. And although it's wise to try and to have at least a lower level working knowledge of most things, like, you know, you want to know like basic addition or whatever. I use that regularly. But, you know, algebra and stuff, I probably haven't used that since high school, not in any significant quantity. It's just not something that's applicable to everyone, I think. So, you know, I wish we had more focus on figuring out what's going to be applicable rather than trying to teach everyone the higher level versions of all these different concepts and stuff. And the same thing applies to college, because generally you have to have a lot of general classes that, are you going to use all of those? Maybe not. That's my hot take on the education system. The Friendly Pack. So the Friendly Pack is a dispersal pack, so they probably haven't shown up in a lot of games. Because the dispersal packs are random. The major packs that are in this area are not. So like we always have the Prospect Peak, Junction Butte, and Crevice Lake packs, but you know the dispersals are randomized, and I think Friendly only shows up in Slough Creek. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've seen him on Amethyst Mountain. So, yeah, Koji is a very bold wolf. Oh, Cubed Roots. I think I remember that being hard. You memorize enough math to make tabletop math easier and quicker to do in your head. That's so valid. That's probably, you know what, you're right. That's probably one of the bigger areas that I use math and stuff. I should learn more about probabilities and stuff. I should research more into that. I was talking about a friend recently about probabilities, and like that's very relevant to tabletop. You know, actually, I think we're going to make this the bottom of our territory and go this way, because you guys did say northeast. So, we're not very north at the moment. But I think I should research more into probabilities and stuff, because it's been a while since I've sat down and taken a look at that. And that's something that I would probably use in tabletop stuff. But yeah, tabletop math, go burr. Oh, I just looked over to see what Evie is doing, and she's sleeping upside down. She did be taking a snooze. Oh my goodness. Another difficult subject is chemistry. Oh my gosh, yes. Chemistry was one that I had trouble with. Like, I did well in the class, but I did not retain most of that. I could not tell you most of what I learned in chemistry, and that was like I said, I did pretty well in school. That was one of the classes I was legitimately concerned I would not do well in. I was usually pretty decent in the academic department. I was worried about chemistry. And like, you know, that's another thing too, is so much of it can be environmental, because I was decently good in an academic setting, I was decently good in a test setting, and there's people who are not. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but the school system caters towards people who are, and that makes it difficult to accurately assess somebody's abilities. That the eagle and those coyotes are going for the same thing, but that makes it very difficult to accurately assess somebody's abilities, what they're actually struggling with, and how to help them. So that's another thing that's hard about school. We should probably hunt something really quick. I prefer to have a carcass. This is accurate, but we're gonna be very hungry if we sleep on an empty stomach right now. There's elk. There are mule deer. I guess we could try to hunt a mule deer. With two of us, it'll probably not be as bad. And I don't even... Oh, there's the scents. They're over here more. So yeah, that's my my takes on school. I'm a little bit jaded, perhaps. But I just feel like there's gotta be better ways of doing this. There's gotta be better ways of doing this than what we have. I just, yeah, I feel like as a whole, school could use some work, perhaps. And it's like, again, people learn so differently that it's hard to create something that is standardized, because there's just so much difference in the way that people work. And I don't think that gets that doesn't necessarily get a lot of credit to it in the current school system, in the way that it is, I guess. So that's me being a little bit salty about learning. That and it's also very performance based. And again, like I said, that's a buck. I don't want to do that. I just don't. But like, yeah, like I was saying too, like it's very performance based too, and I've talked many times about how somebody's ability to perform doesn't determine anything about their work. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. Some of us are going to be better or worse at different things, and so when you have something that is that performance based, it can be very easy for someone to have self-esteem issues because of that. And for it to get all wrapped up into that oh, that's also a buck. What the heck? No, I just want something easy to eat. No, we're gonna just have to sleep. We're just gonna have to sleep, and hopefully, how are we doing? Oh, 47. See. Just gonna run around a little bit and look for a carcass. Hopefully we get lucky. Pray for carcass. I'm not vibing with the situation right now. Yo, nice job finishing the homework though. When you got, oh, when you did high school chem, it was like, yeah, it's a more advanced course. Yep, that'll do it. That sounds really difficult. I think mine was probably pretty normal high school level, and like I've still struggled with that. The rabbits got away too. Yes. Oh yeah, and like I have mad respect for teacher. My mom was a teacher. I have friends who are teachers, and like, good job to them. And I really, I think having a good teacher can mean the world, because it can be the difference between helping someone be excited and interested in learning as a whole versus hating it. And I think one thing that's good for everyone, we got a bison carcass. Okay, we're gonna go eat that. But I think one thing that's important for everyone is to learn to love learning. And you don't have to love learning about everything, but in general, a healthy curiosity is healthy. There's a lot of merit in wanting to learn. And, oh no, have we lost the carcass already? No. Oh, I smell it over here. Okay, we've gotten a little off. Oh, it's right over here, I think. Okay. But yeah, like there's so much benefit in having a healthy curiosity, and it's so easy for that to get squashed if you have a bad teacher. So like, mad respect to all of the teachers who are out there, but I think in many ways a lot of them, when I've talked to a lot of them, they've also felt like they're kind of fighting a system that works against them. So that's kind of my take on it too. But yeah, I have mad respect for teachers, because good teachers are so incredibly necessary, and a bad teacher can do so much damage. Oh my goodness. Oh, having to answer a lot of math problems in a minute sounds very stressful. Very stressful. I don't know if I ever had to do that. I remember doing the standardized testing where you have to fill in the bubbles. And now that I'm old enough to vote, I'm like, oh, that's what that experience with carefully filling in bubbles was all about. But that's like the biggest thing I took away from it, was how to fill in those bubbles really perfectly so the machine can read them. And that's like my adulthood thing is, oh, I didn't escape it. It's on ballots now. This is how ballots work. But that I remember being stressed out by and feeling like I was going to run out of time. And like, yeah, it was not ideal. Oh no! Wait, hello? Oh, I think we just woke up normally. Okay, Koji wants to eat. That's fine. We will eat as well, because it benefits us as much as we can to scavenge off of carcasses. Did Koji get up to 100? Yeah, he will. But welcome, Rhonda. I'm so sorry. The Twitch notifications don't like you. I don't know why they're like this, Twitch. What you doing? Why you like this? Yeah, no joke, though. Like, oh, man. Like, we had election stuff recently, and, like, I definitely encourage, if you are of voting age, please vote. It's very important to be involved in that. But, like, it's also, it's not fun. I'm sorry. It's not. It's a lot of brain power and a lot of focus it's important to put it in, but, like, it brought me right back to those days of standardized testing, and I was just like, this is memories I did not want to relive. You don't escape them in adulthood. I'm sorry. There's some less, there are some, oh, that's Cougar. There are less fun aspects of being adult. Some good ones, some bad ones. Hello? Oh, that's the Fridley dispersals. Okay. We can ignore them. They're just dispersals. They just wander in. Who are you? You're not, though. Get out. Nope. We're claiming this now. Alright, let's get behind. And bite. Yeah, Prospect Peak. You can yeet. Get out. Leave. Leave me be. We gotta claim this for our puppos. Get out. Also, welcome to everybody. We have quite a few people here. Thank you for joining us. We be fighting and being salty about the school system. Alright, I think this guy's almost on the run, like almost ready to run. We just gotta be careful that he doesn't bite us. Oh, and he's gonna try. Alright, if we catch up to him here, we should be able to, because this is accurate. We are playing on accurate, so you can see that damage be, that be some big damage happening here. Okay, he's gone. Good, 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 good. Yeah, we finished her last litter. We did finish it right at the end of the last episode, so this is starting litter number 2. You're so valid. No worries, no worries. I can never remember, where we left off either. It took a second for me to remember, oh yeah, I can't just reload the save. I have to start a new one for this. So, yeah, yep, indeed, that do be one of the first litter puppos. Oh my goodness, wow, 35 hexes of territory is impressive. I don't know if I've ever had quite that many. I think in one of the YouTube series coming up, we got the achievement for having much territory, if I remember correctly. So you guys will probably see that, because there's one where it's like have 20 territory hexes or something like that. So I think I've gotten that achievement, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't remember which series that was. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. I think that's always fun. That's always fun to try to see how much you can get away with, especially if you're playing on an easier difficulty. Which again, I've talked about that. No judgment, no matter what difficulty you like to play on. But it can be fun, especially when there's less pressure to fool around with those kinds of challenges. Oh, okay. I won't say that out loud for spoilers, but that's good to know, Campbell. But yeah, that's one we'll have to see if we get that. I don't think we've gotten that one yet. But eventually at some point, I think. In fact, if I am not mistaken, the heir for the pack of Northern Lights, Petra, has a challenge to, or has a trait of wanting to have a large territory. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how many territory hexes she'll end up with, but I know that is defined as having, so normally we have, like, if this is the center, we want 1, 2, and 1, 2. But if you have a large territory, you're going to be wanting count. So 1, 2, 3, which we couldn't actually claim this one, you know, for the sake of it. So that might be. We'll have to see if Petra gets that then. Her story is coming up. Keep an eye out for it on the JayPlays channel, because that is in the works now that we've finished Cassia's. So yee. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised Violet has that one. I am not surprised Violet got a big territory achievement, because that is she is very good at this game. She does very, very good with it. I am continually amazed by her escapades. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, Petra. Yeah, our next heir, one of our next heirs on the JayPlays channel is also called Petra. Yeah. Yeah, and don't worry too much. I enjoy playing WolfQuest, which works out because I think a lot of my viewers enjoy seeing WolfQuest. I mean, that's why a lot of y'all are here. I think it kind of worked out for me. But yeah, don't worry. Play what you want to play. And don't be pushed into doing stuff that's not your overwhelming interest, I guess is one big thing about the YouTube scene. Oh goodness, no, Koji, we don't want to hunt right now. There's coyotes in there, but yeah, I do try. as much as I love the WolfQuest community, sometimes they get a little pushy, especially if I haven't played for a while, which a while is a little bit subjective at times because I post WolfQuest 2 episodes a week now, and occasionally I still get comments asking me to play it more. And like, I love y'all, and most folks are pretty good about it. I don't think anybody does this maliciously or anything. Like, I get it. When you like watching someone play something, you want to watch them play more of it. And I've been in cases where I've seen a creator and I've loved a certain series of theirs, but they ended up letting it go, didn't keep doing it. And, you know, it is sad because, you know, I wanted to see more of it. I love the way they were playing the game, but, you know, ultimately I want that creator to have fun. And I guess that's the thing, too, is even if some of us do this for a living, especially a lot of bigger channels, it's so important to do things that are interesting to you as well, because if you try to force yourself to do a certain thing just because it's what the community wants to see, you're not gonna be able to keep that up for very long. You're gonna burn out. And that was part of what I learned when I was trying to do 3 episodes a day, which again, I recognize that was not a healthy time of life. I should not have been doing that, and I've learned that now. This is on the other side of the river, isn't it? Gosh dang it. You know, I've learned I wasn't in a healthy place at that time, and like, it's interesting to see because I'm now at the point, hello? Oh, get out of here, you hackers. Get out. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is gonna be a fight. This is gonna be a fight. But that's, this is definitely, okay, okay, you've got the higher flea meter, we're gonna chase you. Yeah, you know, oh, this is Mr. Prospect Peak himself. All right, we gotta, oh no, I should have kept hanging on. I didn't think the bite took. Oh, we gotta get off. All right, we gotta regain some stamina. But, you know, it's been interesting to be on YouTube for as long as I've been, because I'm now, like, I recognize that I've grown in the time I've been on YouTube, and that's something that's interesting to see and have some of that be visible to, I guess, the public eye. And, you know, again, like, in many ways, that's a good thing, because I'm not perfect. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna grow. I'm still growing. I'm gonna continue to be growing. And I'm not gonna do everything right. And I didn't, and I won't. And that's something that's, you know, don't put me or any other content creator on a pedestal, because even for me, like, I try to be fairly real. I don't want to be putting up too much of a false image, but at the same time, it wouldn't be healthy for me to air all of my struggles to the internet. So, like, in many ways, even for me, you guys still are seeing my best impression. Get off! You guys are you're seeing the best of me. You're not necessarily seeing all of the hardest days. And yes, I've talked about, you know, my struggles with depression. That's very much a thing. But, you know, you guys aren't privy to all the mistakes I've made, and at some point, everyone is going to make mistakes, and I probably have and will make mistakes on camera, and I wish there was a little bit more grace when it comes to especially content creators, because I feel like people tend to see this idealized version of someone, and then be shocked when that person doesn't live up to those expectations. And so, like, you know, where our health, oh goodness, I want these guys to leave. I'm going to stop deep talk for a second here, because these guys are going to kill me if we're not careful. We gotta be cautious here. Oh dear. Also, I apologize for the spinning. I want bite. They're chasing Koji right now, so this is a good chance for bite. And I will catch up with chat later when I'm not trying not to die. We'll see. You need to leave. It's gonna get very snowy here too. Oh goodness. Oh, and I've run out of stamina. Are you serious? Oh, this hacker. Now he's gonna bite me. You hacker, leave me alone. Actual jerk. Actual heckin' jerk. We might have to bail. We are close enough that I don't want to bail, because I think we could probably kill this guy if need be, and I think Puma's mad enough to do it if he doesn't back the heck off. But, like, we gotta watch her health, because this is not great. Oh, we only got, like, one bite there. Oh, he's gonna get us if we're not careful. I don't want you on my tail. Get away! Koji's still doing alright, so, like, ideally, oh, get off of me. Ideally, some of these guys go for Koji instead. I'm gonna see, nope, oh no, he's on Koji now. Alright, we're gonna go for you. I'm gonna try and take this guy down. We are not doing damage. We are not doing damage. Our health is very low. If we get a bite, oop, no, now we can get a bite. Now we can get a bite. Just gotta be careful. We really can't risk getting ganged up on him by these guys now. We're probably gonna have to bail though, because honestly, this is Mr. Prospect Peak himself too. Man, we're gonna take out the dominant male. Oh my gosh. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, Koji's going for him. Koji's going for him. Other wolf's going for Koji though. Don't get on me. Oh, they're going for each other. All right. I'm pushing my luck. I'm pushing my luck. I'm pushing my luck. High risk, high reward, I guess. This is not ideal. This is not ideal. Buddy, you better heckin' run. You're gonna heckin' die. You're worse off than I am, and I'm not doing great. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, I will catch up with chat. Oh, thank goodness, he's leaving. Oh my. Are they gone? Good night. That was something. That was something. Well, we can claim this hex now. My gosh. We almost yeeted that man. We almost yeeted that man. But yeah, let me catch up. I'm glad you guys enjoy watching me play WolfQuest. And like, again, I'm not trying to say this because I'm bored with it. I really do love playing WolfQuest. It's definitely one of my favorite games to create content in. It very naturally suits my storytelling style, I feel like. So I really enjoy that too, and I think that's a great fit for the audience that I have. But I'm gonna prioritize my health in it, and I wasn't always great about doing that earlier on. But yeah, what I was saying earlier is, even though I try to be more open because I don't want to be seen as some perfect idealized version of myself that is not actually accurate, I'm still gonna make mistakes. I'm not gonna live up to everyone's expectations, and also people are different. So, you know, I don't want to be hiding to a degree, but it's also very important to understand that ultimately, in many ways, I'm acting a role on the stage. If I am feeling super down on a particular day, if I'm not in a place to stream, then yeah, I'll let you know I can't do it, and I won't do it for that day. But, you know, I'm not gonna act that. I'm gonna put it aside for a little bit and play the part of, you know, being the showman. And that's kind of just how this works. And I don't want y'all to worry about me because I'm getting help for some of my mental health issues. I'm trying to learn to handle them in healthier ways. So I don't want to worry anyone, and I'm not like in a super bad place where I'm in any danger, I don't think. But you're also not going to be seeing those worst days most of the time, or the times when I do make mistakes, when I don't get something right. But they do happen, and I feel like that's something that can blindside people when you're dealing with content creators a lot of the time. What have we done for our quest? We need more dens and we need more hexes. All right, we're gonna maybe go den hunting a little bit here. All right, we'll try and claim this one because I think the other ones will be a little bit better off. There's also an elk carcass somewhere, but if wolves come back, we gotta bail. We can't do another fight like this. But I think that's something that can blindside people who... It's easy to feel like content creators are showing most of themselves, and most of the time, they're not, nor would it be healthy for them to be. There's a reason I don't always talk a whole lot about what I'm doing in my personal life, too. You guys aren't privy to every detail of everything that I do, because it wouldn't be healthy for me to live my entire life on the internet. There's some things that I do that are just for me. And I think it's very hard to maintain a healthy view of people in the spotlight, and it's hard to maintain a healthy view as someone who can be in the spotlight. But it's really important to remember, content creators are people too. We screw up as much as the rest of y'all. Y'all may not always get to see that openly, but it does happen, I assure you. I am not perfect, and anyone who knows me will tell you that, and can confirm that, because I have made my share of mistakes, and I am not a perfect person, and I would not want any of you guys to ever think that I am. And honestly, like, even looking back at some of my old videos, there are things that I did and believed back then that I realize now I've grown in that area, and I would not handle things quite the same way now. And, you know, I'm not going to delve into specifically what all that is. But, you know, people change, people grow, and people aren't perfect. And I wish there was more understanding of that when you think about public figures, when you think about content creators, when you even think about celebrities, and the actual heck that surrounds celebrity culture. People get put on pedestals and it never ends well. Let's see. Let's go ahead and keep howling. Yeah, that's very, very good. And I appreciate, most people I think are pretty good. Most people in this community, as a whole, you guys have been very supportive when I've talked about needing breaks, when I've taken hiatuses, when I've had to step back for periods of time to tend to my mental health and stuff. For the most part, y'all have been very supportive, and I really do appreciate that. Yeah, Mr. Peak almost died. Like, he was worse off than we were. We yeeted that man. Oh, the Jayisms grow. Oh, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the quotes. But yeah, that's kind of my soapbox for the day is, I wish we didn't idolize people in the spotlight so much, because most of the time you're not seeing their full selves, I guess. You're seeing kind of you're seeing the image of themselves that they're putting forward for the camera. You really have to think of content creators as actors on the stage, and as someone who's done acting, that is exactly what this is. Like, I don't mean that in the sense of that I'm lying. Like, I do try to be open and real, but, you know, you guys know me as Jay. That's effectively, it's a persona. it's like a stage persona, basically. And Rain has joked about that a few times, because I occasionally will go into content creator mode, like when we're just casually hanging out and playing games. But, you know, it's not necessarily completely who I am in real life, and I want to be careful that it doesn't stray so far away that I'm putting forth a totally false image. But, you know, it's still not a full picture of me and who I am, and if you look only at this image of myself that I'm putting forward on the stage when I'm here acting the part, playing the role, and doing these things, you're not going to get a completely clear picture of who I am. And that's what can be so dangerous too about that's why it's hard. Like, maybe if you're younger on the internet, you may not hear this term as much. If you're older on the internet, depending on what spaces you're in, you might hear the term parasocial relationship. That gets yeeted around. It also gets misused a lot. But there is legitimacy to that. It is easy for parasocial relationships to form. Parasocial relationships being a one-sided relationship where someone is basically expecting an excessive amount of, I guess, what would be the word for it? It's like when you consider someone a friend, but like they don't actually know you personally, kind of. That's the simpler way of putting it. And that's very easy to form with content creators, because, you know, the fact is, I appreciate all you guys, and I appreciate you guys as a community, but I know very few of you guys personally, and I don't want to treat it like a friendship, because there are thousands of you, and as much as I care about you guys, and I appreciate you guys as a community, but I don't know you guys personally. I don't have, you know, the fact is, you know, at most it's more of an acquaintance level, and it wouldn't be, I don't want anybody to have false or unhealthy expectations of, and then feeling let down, I guess. And, you know, I do care about you guys, but it can't be on a personal level, because there's thousands of you guys, and I don't know everyone super personally, and I think that's something that gets lost as well. And it's a hard thing to balance, because both as a content creator and as a content consumer, and like, I don't want that to sound calloused or anything. Like, I really appreciate the community that we have, but I also want to make it very clear that, you know, like, I can't have that level of personal relationship with most people, and in fact, a lot of the time I kind of limit the level of relationship that I do have in this community, especially since I do know a lot of this community is minors, and I want to be very careful about that as well as an adult. So, you know, I kind of have a policy of keeping a little bit of distance there because I don't want any sort of unhealthy dependency to start to form, or any sort of false pretenses. And like, you know, there's nothing wrong with liking someone's content and consuming someone's content and enjoying it. And I'm glad that you guys do, and that you guys are enjoying the content that I put out. You know, when I hear about you guys saying, oh, that this cheered you up when you were down, like, you know, I'm glad to hear that I'm making a difference, and like that you guys enjoy this, and that I can have that impact on people's lives. Because I know, you know, similarly, I've experienced that as well from other content creators. But unless I do have that more personal relationship with you guys, I don't want you guys to have that expectation of being able to draw that more personal kind of relationship and personal kind of connection from me, because the fact is that's not the case in most circumstances. And that's such a big issue with content creators, because it can be easy to feel like you know them very well. And, you know, ultimately it's like, you know, you can identify with, you can relate to the characters in a TV show, you can appreciate a TV show, you can enjoy it, but you don't have a personal relationship with those characters, I guess. And again, Deep Hour is here. Yeah, Rain is confirming that I do have a YouTuber persona. Occasionally she'll be like, Jay, you've gone content creator mode. And I'll be like, oh shoot, because like, you know, sometimes we'll play games on call or whatever. Oh goodness, and now the territory is declining. Welp, I'm gonna try and what still do we need? We need one more hex. I bet we can maybe claim. We can get close to that at least. I'm gonna claim some of this really quickly. Now we do have to wrap up soon, so we're probably not gonna finish this today, but we can get closer. We probably won't get Realtor's Nightmare on this one. We have not found that many dens. Emotional labor is a good term for it, Rain. Yeah, because, you know, like, okay, so the difference between, like, a friendship or whatever, in a good, healthy friendship or close relationship, or this should be the case for family relationships too, it can vary with family, depending on, you know, if you're talking about parent-child or siblings or whatever, it's, you know, it's a little bit different, depending on some of that. Like, a parent shouldn't be expecting a lot of emotional labor from a child. That wouldn't be healthy. But, like, when you think about a good friendship has mutuality, it has... Straw hat, gimme! That's not what it has, but, it has, you know, mutuality. It has a sharing of each other, or sharing each other's burdens. If one friend is down, the other person can do what they can to help them. And that, you know, you don't do that at the utter and complete expense of yourself, but, you know, there's you're there for each other, you're helping each other. When you're watching a content creator, the odds are that content creator doesn't know you personally, and they're not emotionally there for you. They don't know the details of what you're going through. They're someone who's putting out content that you enjoy and can gain some emotional benefit from, but, you know, there's not that same level of mutuality. It's one-sided, because especially with huge content creators who only have, hey, we got a hat for animals who like wearing grass on their heads. That's funny. Let's get a picture with it. But like, especially with, you know, I'm maybe a little bit more connected to my community than like someone with millions of subscribers. Like, you know, I recognize people in the audience. But, you know, it's still not an emotional connection, and especially when you have someone who has even more subscribers and viewers and somebody with millions of people watching. They're not gonna even know most people. And, you know, for me, I don't know most of you guys personally, and it's a little bit hard too, because it's also hard, and like, you know, oh yeah, I know it's still strong. It's also hard too, because sometimes developing a friendship as a content creator can get a little weird if that comes out of somebody watching your content. Not always. Like, I think that was kind of what happened with the IU crowd, is we knew about each other's content, and we kind of struck up a relationship. Who the heck are you? Oh, I think that's dispersal. That's probably the Fridley dispersal. Yeah, that's the Fridley dispersals. So, like, you know, we knew about each other from watching each other's content, and now we are friends. But it can get a little bit weird if somebody finds you through your content. And I don't actually talk a lot about being a YouTuber with most of my friends, except for, like, you know, with the IU crowd, because we all do that, or with Rain, because, you know, she helps me a lot with a lot of stuff on my channel. Being a YouTuber is not what makes up most of my friendships, though. It's something that gets touched on the side. So there's a lot of weird dynamics that arise And I think that's why so often you hear too about those kinds of dynamics going badly. That's why you hear about content creators who got into situations, who did things they shouldn't have, to put it lightly, because it's so hard to actually have a friendship with someone who starts as a viewer, because there's an innate weird power dynamic, I guess. I don't want to get too much into that because I do try to keep things fairly PG, but it is a problem, and I think there's a reason that we see that kind of occurrence happen more frequently with content creators, because they're both in a position of power and spotlight. So you see it happen fairly frequently and it's very publicized when it does. So that's one reason that I do try to maintain a bit of personal distance for myself as well, because I want to avoid ever being in a situation that could lend itself to something like that. It's just safer for me and for everyone involved. But, you know, it's also, because you come into that with such a weird dynamic starting out with, it's very hard for someone who starts out as a viewer to develop a real relationship with viewers, and like a lot of the time that can get unhealthy. So that's why I will always encourage you guys to develop other friendships. Like, you know, I care about you guys, I pray for you guys, but ultimately it's not a friendship in the same sense of you guys interacting with somebody you know more personally. So, you know, it's a different sort of caring, and it's a different sort of, the way mutuality works is a lot different. And it's not necessarily, it's something that's really tricky. Yeah, I'm glad you guys think the advice is good. It's something I didn't expect to talk about this today, but you know, it's an important topic. And yeah, exactly. And that's something that I think is a good policy to have that Rain is talking about. She holds that too. And that's why, you know, I'm very careful about, you know, I don't, if you guys send me a friend request and I don't accept it, I'm sorry, it's nothing personal, but that's just a policy that I have for myself and y'all's protection. Because even with the best of intentions, it can be easy for something to go awry, and there's just so much innate difference with a content creator interacting with their viewers that it can be so easy for things to get hecky really fast, even if somebody isn't intentionally being malicious. Not to mention the fact that, like I said, most of us are playing a role on the stage, and for me, I'll tell you, for mine, you know, I do try to keep it somewhat genuine as much as I can. Again, I'm not sharing all the details of my personal life here. There's a lot that I don't talk about publicly on YouTube and on Twitch. But I do try to keep it as genuine as I healthily can. Not everyone does that. And, you know, I'm sure most of us probably grew up with, you know, stranger danger on the internet. Not everyone on the internet is out to harm you, but it can be a lot more difficult to tell who is. And I don't even want you guys to take my word for that, what I'm telling you about myself, because I know it's true. My friends who I know are out of YouTube and IRL and closely on the internet know that that's true. But at the end of the day, I told you I'm playing a part. And I don't want you to assume that level of trust about me, even though it is true, I guess. You shouldn't necessarily make that assumption about anyone when you don't know them closely. And so, like, you know, I think it's very healthy to have a level of stranger danger, and I am completely fine with applying that to myself, because at the end of the day, I'm a content creator. I tell stories about wolves, and that should be the substance of these interactions. And, like, you know, I do care about you guys. I will be praying for you guys. And, you know, I do hope the best for you guys, but it can't be on a super personal level, because that's just not how these things work. Yeah, let me not get attacked by Cougar, but I do want to run over here. Yeah, very, very easily distracted indeed. Unfortunately, yeah, and, like, you know, again, I'm not going to say because someone's famous that they're automatically that they automatically have bad intentions, but the problem is something like this, an environment like this is ideal for someone who does, and the fame can also very easily go to your head, and can, I guess, taint even the best of intentions. Maybe not everyone who ends up getting into something like that does it intentionally. Maybe the fame got to them. Maybe they were like that all along. It's sometimes really hard to say, because at the end of the day, you don't know them. You don't know what led to that. But what I do know is there's a higher occurrence of bad situations arising from this kind of thing, because it's an environment that can be very easy to foster them in. However that comes to be. And I think it's important to remember that when interacting with the internet and with interacting with people here is, you know, at the end of the day, we're entertainers. And it's much healthier to keep that perspective in mind. So, yep. It's like we're on a therapy session. Oh gosh. Well, hopefully it's some level of good advice. I don't feel like I'm quite qualified for that. But, you know, hopefully this is kind of just the experience that I've had. And like, again, you know, it's hard for me having social anxiety to be worried that people will, like, be really sad if I ignore their friend request or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, it's a lot healthier for me to do that than to be having interactions that end up being one-sided. So, like, you know, it's a matter of policy that I try not to accept a lot of those friend requests and such, not because I think it's just better if I don't, because then it doesn't set up any level of false expectations. So, yeah. And I'm glad that I'm glad that you guys don't mind the serious conversations, man. People coming over from my YouTube are gonna be like, fun wolf stories, interesting stories, to deep talk about the politics and interactions of YouTube. But, you know, sometimes it be that way. And it is kind of a territory marky episode. So yeah, that's a little bit easier to talk about these things when we're focused more on that than the specifics of the gameplay. Man, our health really is not regened either. We're gonna have to get food when we come back. What I'm doing right now, we've run a little bit overtime. I'm just gonna try to claim that one last hex, because I think, oh no, 2 weeks. Oh, we still haven't got the den site though. Okay, well, we may not finish this today then. Never mind, I'll claim the hex at least, but we probably have to come back to this later. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys are open to listening about this, and I just would urge you guys to be cautious. Yeah, and it is really hard, and like, I by no means want to diminish the fact that there can be very genuine online relationships, because I have had them, and, you know, some of my closest friends are people that I know through the internet. But you do have to be careful, because the internet comes with a lot of good and bad, and one of the things that unfortunately it does make a lot easier is for people to put up a false image of themselves, because you're not seeing them constantly in person and interacting with them. So you can develop a serious and a close friendship and relationship with people over the internet, but you have to be a little bit extra cautious, and you have to really get to know someone, maybe even more so than IRL face-to-face, because oh, we're right at the map border, okay. Because it's easier for someone to hide, I guess. And so that's kind of what the whole stranger danger thing is about, because I see, you know, I feel like a lot of young people, and I was kind of like this too, I feel like a lot of young people coming onto the internet are like, well, that's not, I mean, I have friends on here, and like, you know, the whole stranger danger thing isn't saying that you can't have friendships. It's not saying that it's impossible. It's saying you have to be careful, and that, I think, is super important. Let's see. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't open den names. We're not quite there yet. That was a good call. Yeah, kind of like shower thoughts. I'm just talking about, see, it's very different, because when I'm on YouTube, I'm cutting out stuff that's not, like, relevant. So, like, I'll cut out a lot of the empty stuff. I just will literally not talk, and we'll just edit it out. But here, you know, I'm keeping up a constant stream of talk, and so it lends itself to these more kind of conversational topics. Deep Thoughts with Jay. Yeah, I have to change the channel name. Might as well call it Podcast with Wolfgang. Yeah, honestly, at this point. TBH. Oh my goodness. Oh, heck. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad there was not an actual fire. That's scary. I'm glad you're good. No fire is always much better than fire. I'm glad to hear you're okay. Alright, did we Territory strength is strong. All right. Do I know where are the dens we found? I think there's a den right here. I'm just gonna run over and try to do that really fast. I want to get to April, you guys. I want to get to the late spring. I want to get to early spring. I just want to do that really fast here. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Oh no, a fire troll. Your roommate was in the shower. Oh no. Oh man. Oh my goodness, people pulling the fire alarm on purpose. Yeah, dorm living sounds like an experience. You guys are not the only people who I've heard talking about people pulling the fire alarm. A lot of my college friends have had that experience. It seems to be a thing that happens in college, and I don't know about, like, man, I don't know. Oh, I think there's a den in those rocks up there, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Evie! What are you doing, Evie? I look down and there's Cat. Evie. Evelyn. No. Evie. Hey. Hang on a second. Alright, sorry, y'all. I had to evict the cat. There's a den up here. She was trying to crawl under my bed. And she's not allowed under there. Oh, goodness. Cat, go burr. Oh, I didn't even see it, but we got it. Alright. Did we get it? Is there, like, one hex that got too weak? Huh? Oh, now can we hit finish? I think it may be, oh, there we go. Oh gosh, what is the pack name? It's, the Timberwood pack, right? Every time indeed. Yeah, we gotta get the den. So that was almost an interruption. Very, very nearly so, but she picked a little bit soon. She does know that it's time for training and I've gone overtime, so, I think it's the Timberwood pack. Aw. Oh, could you guys hear her in the background there? I'm not sure how much carried through. Okay, Timberwood. Yeah, I had to yeet her out. I'm sorry. She did good for most of it. Okay, Timberwood. So we'll go ahead and we will do that. Okay, you guys didn't hear. Aw. All right. Go ahead and we will choose a den, and then we will progress. All right, we'll let it load, and then we're gonna wrap up because I've gone a little bit over. You guys didn't hear her. Don't worry, you'll hear her in some of the YouTube episodes. I could hear her when I was editing. But we'll go ahead and wrap this up here because it is about that time again. So now we gotta go find the den, choose which one we want. I hope it doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna just back up so that it doesn't automatically choose this one. Next time we'll be picking between these 4 dens and deciding which one of these we want to choose. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up here for today. So thank you guys for listening to the whole deep talk. I hope that was beneficial. I hope you guys got something from that. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube or here on Twitch, don't forget to drop a follow so that you can see when we're going live next. And I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.